Hey guys, Aqua Duelist here. Before I jump into today's video, I want to make it known I do not hate Book of Eclipse. I actually will, and I'll admit it's a really strong card. However, there's a point to where hype is just completely over the top, and this is one of those times. This card was originally like a 50 cent common, like dollar or whatever, depending on where you go. And shower foils were like maybe $1.50, $2. But now, because of the hype of this card, being some godly counter to Thunder Dragons, commons are about at least $6, around at least $5 to $6. And Shatterfoils are completely off the market. They have all been bought out. There's none on TCG Player. There's very few on eBay. I've been literally checking on this card for the last 3 days straight, multiple times a day, just because I've been interested in kind of see where does this go. And why I'm saying this card's overhyped is there is two things I got to say. One was actually something looking at I forgot to mention in the last video I did with Geo when we did the verses of Book of Eclipse versus Swords of Concealing Light. Geo pointed out that because it's a quick play spell, you can activate Book of Eclipse on your opponent's turn, potentially shutting them down, which is good. But the thing is, they also get to plus off of that at the end of the turn. Now, this is where This is what the new thing I'm going to talk about is. Let's say your opponent. Okay, your opponent is probably going to be getting a +2. So they draw 2 cards. Well, if they essentially have a card in their hand that also stops you on your turn, and you're not able to essentially play through it or keep momentum going, or get regain momentum instantly, you can actually lose the duel. Which is why I'm like, this card is not that amazing. Although it is a good and powerful card. It does have that huge risk factor that I feel like people are completely not looking at and ignoring. The second thing I wanted to point out on why this card is just overhyped is the cards only had 4 printings. One I think was like the Duelist Genesis or something like that. It came as a common. It came as a common in Shatterfoil in Battle Pack 3. And it also came as a super in, I think, Astral Pack 8. But, the thing is, I was planning on buying a box of, Battle Pack 3 down the road in probably like a month, and I'm not going to anymore. Because of this one card that is just being overhyped and has this spike in price. The prices on the box of Battle Pack 3 has doubled, and it's really insane. Instead of it being about $32, $33, like shipping included on that price, you're going to be spending about that much. The boxes are now going for about average of 55 up to the 60 area, which I do want to point out that just that set isn't worth it. Is not worth that much money. And the thing I find funny is I remember seeing, like, we all remember seeing packs being thrown into all these other different products and such at Walmarts and all that, and it was just essentially this set was just overproduced. And here we go with this one card from the set essentially off the market. So, like, what's going on there? Something's wrong. And the thing I wanted to point out too is, yes, Book of Eclipse is kind of expensive right now. I honestly wouldn't even buy this card. Honestly, I just wouldn't. It's not worth its current hype price. The thing I'm trying to get at is, let's say you buy a box. You get all your packs. You spent $55. Okay. Now look at this from a value standpoint. Let's say you get lucky. You pull a Shatterfoil Book of Eclipse. We'll say it's $10. We'll just go with that, because off of the few prices I've seen were left on eBay, it was going for about $10 to $15. So we'll just say $10, okay? You pull a common. We'll say you pull one common too. You're at $16. Now, looking at the rest of the set, there's no real money cards. The more expensive stuff is going to be some of the XYZs, which are hard to pull, and they're only a couple dollars each. You're probably going to only pull maybe one or two. So let's say, okay, you pull the two, you're at like 20, we'll give you a benefit of doubt. Let's say you pull a Digestorm. We'll put you at like $22. Okay, and then you have, out of that, the only other things really of value is like Forbidden Chalice as a Shatterfoil. Because that's, besides the ulti, that's really the highest rarity besides gold, and no one really likes gold rares. I don't hate them, but most of the duelists hate gold rares. So essentially, Shatterfoil is the best thing to go besides the ulti, and that's about $2. And at that point, everything else isn't really worth anything. So let's say you pull the two XYZs, the Book of Eclipses, a Shatter, and a Common, and then you pull like a Shatterfoil Forbidden Chalice. Now you're probably more around the $25 mark. And you essentially have just a big bulk lot of commons that aren't really worth anything, to be honest. While it does have some decent the set does have a lot of good, decent cards. The issue is a lot of those cards have also been reprinted so many times to the point where the commons are actually just not really worth anything. Which it kind of sucks, but so essentially at that point, if you factor in all that, probably around that point, you'd probably maybe break even with the original price of the box, but that's if you pulled like two XYZs, a Shatterfoil and common Book of Eclipse, and a Shatterfoil Forbidden Chalice. Which, the chances of that happening probably aren't that high. It is a pretty big set. If you don't believe me, look on TCG Player. You're going to get about 400 something different different things pertaining to that set. And the reason why is because just about every card in that set was also had a Shatterfoil printing. Just about. And then you got, I think, like 15 or 18 XYZs that were only printed Shatterfoils, so yeah, it's just kind of all over. It's really huge. So the chances of that happening, looking at how big the set is, which I think if you're not going to include, it's also printed as a Shatterfoil, it's like a 200 something card set. I think it's really big. You're not getting good chances. Your chances are very low, and you're not going to break even. If you're lucky, probably going to get about half the value of what the box price is. So, with all that said, I would not buy book. I would not buy Book of Eclipse right now. It is a good card. As I said, I pulled one. I probably have another in all my stuff over here. It's just I'm not really needing it, and it's just overhyped right now. If you have copies, go ahead and sell them. Now's the time, honestly. But if you're looking to buy copies, just wait until the hype goes back down. Give it some time. It's going to cool back down. It's probably going to go back down to what it was, or, probably more like around $1 a common, But yeah. Hopefully you guys like this video. I'd like to know, what are your thoughts on this card? As I said, this is my last video I'm going to do just straight on this card, because y'all are probably, who are continually watch my stuff, the few of you do, probably are kind of tired of me talking about this, but, this card, but, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you want to see more of my content, and if you're not subscribed, if you do, make sure you hit that notification button. I do 4 to 5 videos a week. We do deck profiles, card discussions, card versus videos, which is something new I'm just starting. But thank you guys for watching.